not a bit cold?
Huh?
You can...
Gym's doing you well. You're looking pretty damn good.
For a man of my age, you mean?
You said it, not me.
A lot of men usually your time.
In your case.
So what is your type?
Anyone who's willing to have me.
What do you want to do with me?
I think you know.
Okay, I guess I do.
Sweet.
Just want to make sure you're happy.
I don't think it's happiness we're after.
Do you have any kinks?
Oh, you've got a sex swing, haven't you?
I'm only curious what kind of stuff you're into.
Just do what you want with me.
I want you to get what you want out of this.
Look, this isn't anything romantic.
I'm just thinking about you.
Then don't. Just forget about what I want.
If I was you...
Well,
Oh, smart guy, aren't you?
you know.
What do you want?
A few months back, I met Ahmed. I mean, he was fine looking. He hadn't shown his face online, so I didn't know what I was getting into. Ahmed was from Egypt. Back home, he had a job and money, but here, he makes sandwiches at a greasy calf and on his lunch break has bareback in the public toilet down the street. We did it his though because I'm a classy geezer. He had a small two-person flat. His mother was working that night. His bed was crammed into the room, like squished in with no space between the wall and the cabinet, and above the headstand was this. I don't know what it was really. It was this square of black material, probably silk, with, I think, Arabic, stitched into the centre in gold, circled with these fine inscriptions and details, like it was beautiful. You'd look at it and think it was some kind of prayer thing. Whatever it was, we had sex under it. And I'm looking up, kind of rhythmically thinking, I wonder what that is. We shake hands and part ways. I sit awkwardly on the train back and have this anxious, closeted panic about internal bleeding. And I'm aware of how I'm holding my neck up, and because it's hot and humid in the carriage, all I can smell is my body. Like it's right here. Except it's not my body because my sweat stinks like weed. Sometimes I wonder whether that's a black person thing, but no, that's just the Jamaicans. What I can smell is his body. And his sweat. And his spit. And his cum. And I wonder whether everyone else in the carriage can smell it. The primal stench of sex. It's a walk of shame, but no. I sit well up. I look like a fucking monarch. And I feel wanted, had, and a little sacrilegious. I don't believe in love. Attachment, stupid. People move, people change, people mess up. If you attach yourself, you get dragged along with the ride. You've got to be able to cut yourself off. You don't want attachment, you want lingering. You can sit comfortably in the presence of the person. You can feel their warmth. You can enjoy their company. Your surfaces can touch, but you drift apart as necessary. The way I think about sex is much the same as sound public health advice regarding the use of tissues. Quick blow, discard immediately. I mean, I will accept recurring dates, an extended courting, maybe a longer term relationship, but the imperative is that detachment remain a non-destructive possibility. Always. Back on the train, and I'm thinking about Ahmed. Does his family know that he likes guys? I mean, will he spend the next 2 hours washing bed sheets and furiously disinfecting surfaces, getting out the Febreze and cracking open the windows in time for his brother getting home? Or maybe he'll take it out on himself. Maybe some long, atoning prayers to stem the guilt for a while. Or maybe he'll have to stop looking at men. Oh, he'll have to turn away whenever someone orders at the calf. You right, mate? Can you give us a 6-inch? Eyes down. Nah, lads, skip the veggies. Just pack it with some meat. Eyes down. The way he fucked, you could feel the self-hatred. When you're that close to a person, you can read a remarkable amount. His eyes were closed, and I wasn't there. He wasn't fucking me, but fucking through me. Towards the Arabic above the headstand. Towards God. And because he's fucking through me, and because I'm not there, he doesn't realise that actually it's a bit painful. I was just a kid when I saw the 2011 uprising on the news. All I saw was statues being pulled down and people celebrating, so I guessed, it must have been good. I didn't realise that there was a rise in Islamic extremism and therefore a rise in... I saw about this concert in Cairo. There were these people right at the front, cameras and lights right there, and they raised pride flags. And they were having a great time. So was the band. They were posting pictures of the flags and everything. 76 people were arrested in the end. 2 were jailed for about 3 months, and many more subjected to forced anal testing. Because of the public trauma, there was a surge in suicide attempts. One of the people who was arrested did kill herself in the end. So good on him. Good on Ahmed for trying, but hey, no one fucks harder than God. I move on because it gets very dark very fast, and I decide, it's been 48 hours. It's about time I reply to the boyfriend. It wasn't meant to happen. Gio, that's his name. I stumbled across him on an app and thought, not bad, pretty tidy, nice smile. He's from a town near Naples, here to study. He's a bit older than I am, not in a way I'm completely ashamed of. I've done much worse. He just had a look about him. I had his expired by date all set, just a summer fling. And then I met him. Our first date, we went on this art exhibition, Homes of the World. Every room was set up as a different room from different periods and places in the world. There was a seedy 80s Beijing hotel, an American sitcom living room, an Ottoman boudoir. I just remember Gio going on about architecture. Like, still complete strangers, barely met each other, and he's giving me the full TED talk, right? Gio was telling me about how much he missed European town planning, where they used to build squares and town halls and public spaces so that there was this real sense of community. Nowadays, everything is just built to be so lonely and efficient. And I just sat listening. He spoke with so much passion and intelligence. He could give examples and negate his own counter-arguments. He had this clear vision of how to make the world happier and kinder, where family isn't just the people you share full walls with. When my sister Kayla found out that I liked guys, she tried to console me by telling me, everything's gonna be okay. Gays can be normal now, like everybody else. Kayla is straight. Bless her. She's a yes queen, you slay type of an ally. I found this out on Stonewall the other day. More than half of gay men in the UK feel uncomfortable holding their partner's hand in public. Which makes me laugh, thinking about how in every gay couple there's one slapping away the other's hand, like Melania Trump. But at the same time. Tonight we went to meet the Adubas, Kayla's boyfriend's family. The Adubas are a proper family, so everything's a bit tense. So obviously I feel like pissing off Kayla. So I ask her, when's she gonna marry her boyfriend? She tells me to shut up. So I ask her, when's she gonna spawn their reptilian demon baby? She makes it clear her priority is to move into her new flat with their boyfriend. And they've got to check the fittings are in place and get a good relationship going with the landlord and pack everything and sort the haulage and pray to God they don't have crack-addict neighbours raising marijuana and all hell in the flat above. I mean, she says this like it's a burden, like it will leave her all grey and withered, but she does this look when she's excited, even when she says she isn't, where the corners of her mouth curl up and her eyes get all big and shiny, and she's doing that look right now. She knows she's on track, and she's got a future. And it's a bit boring and everyone's done it before, but she wants nothing else but that flat. And that boyfriend. And all the dodgy fittings that come with it. I hate to admit it, but Kayla is the yin to my yang. Oh, not in a colour way, we are both. I mean, we're opposites, but we fit. We even finish each other's sentences. Kayla left school after GCSEs. I got the A's at A-level. Kayla worries about the next 5 minutes. I worry about the next 5 years. I'm going to uni next year. I can also drive a car. Kayla has a job, independent income, friends, a likeable personality, clear skin, self-respect, has a kind of vox pop charm, has saved for a flat, and has the perfect boyfriend of 5 years. Kayla can go suck a dick. She thinks mum and dad love me more because on paper I'm the more successful one. I know mum and dad love her more because she's the happy one. And everyone prefers a happy person to a successful person. When was the last time someone made you smile with their A-levels? Give me some of that BBC. My anaconda don't. Date 2 with Gio, and he tries to tell me that England is different from Italy because in Italy you hear racism every day. I forgive him. Okay, this one is the one. I mean, 44 is 44, and it looks like he's got a thing for taxidermy, but when you have a chest that you can use as a buoyancy aid, I mean... Chest guy can get some. I'll leave him on pause. For the moment. We get to the boyfriend's place. The Adubas are Nigerian. The mum sells curry and jollof for a £5 on the high street. The dad is a GP. They have 2 children, Deo, the boyfriend, and a daughter, Abby. This is our first time meeting the Adubas. They were keen that we meet. There was a long time Kayla flat out denied that she was seeing anyone. No way she was telling us that she had a boyfriend, but her and Deo have been inseparable ever since. Deo always at ours, Kayla at theirs. I mean, it's a bit weird, our families haven't met yet, but that's down to our side. We're a very independent family, private. Kayla seemed happy, so mum and dad just let her get on with it. Whew, I can see why Kayla was hesitant that we meet them. The Adubas are a proper family. Very dinner together, dad carves the roasts. Happy, smiley, respectable, just aggressively straight. Like, straight. I mean, even the cut of their clothes and the way they dress, it's so considerate, calm, subtle gestures and polite laughs, no big burly chuckles. It gets me thinking about the amount of smiling that Kayla must keep up. Like weightlifting for the face. We do the awkward introductions. The mum is a bit tactile. She has a hello with a double kiss kind of a greeter, which is too much, but it's a thing. But then she does this thing where she holds onto your arm for a bit, like people do when they're breaking bad news. And I'm like, who died? The dad is a big old patriarch. He has this gravitational force that pulls people in and crushes them under his control. You go to shake his hand and it gets crushed under these 2 slabs of flesh as he leans in. Welcome to my house. Their daughter's name is Abby. When I look at her, it's like I can read the entire synopsis of her life. Quiet, but the life of a party around a group of close mates. Hard worker, keeps her head down. Her parents say, no, they're not fussy, but she knows she needs A's at A level and a Russell Group uni offer, probably for STEM, if she's going to keep their respect. You can hear her true voice at the community choir every Sunday. She's a soloist in many ways, she's perfect. I can tell him, right? When she isn't checking herself, she shrinks when her parents turn to speak to her. Things get awkward as the mum is keen that Abby sing for the rest of us. Abby doesn't want to sing in front of strangers, obviously, but the mum is relentless and soon everyone starts feeling a bit... Abby shrinks into herself. I move the attention onto Kayla and Deo. Kayla and Deo start getting excited about moving out and start throwing all those coupley jabs at each other. Well, if you squeeze the toothpaste out from the bottom, if I didn't have to clear your hair out of the plug hole, right, cannot be done with him. Keep him for all I care. Oh, the parents are loving this. Love is tiff, trouble in paradise. And then the dad leans in towards me and for the rest of the table jokes. See here, look out for this when you find a girlfriend. I live near Liverpool and Gio is up in Lancaster. Whenever I take the train to visit him, it's like I get off in a different bubble of reality. My family and friends are miles away and I don't know anyone. No one else I see in Lancaster is an actual person, they're just scenery. It's just me and him. We get into this rhythm. I take an hour train each way to visit him. No one knows where I spent the day, and when they ask, I make excuses. I just slip off the surface of the earth, and no one notices. He's an interesting guy, is Gio. I just like to sit and listen to him talk about whatever it is he's talking about. He's a really passionate guy. I first noticed this about him at the exhibition when he was talking about architecture and community and neighbourhood gardening. He wears his heart out open on his sleeve. Flesh exposed, beating away, ready to get snagged on the clothes of a passerby. But I guess I admire that about him. When we're around town, what will happen is Joe will find himself an independent cafe, get a slice of artisanal cake and a double shot espresso, sit himself down and just talk for ages. I mean, he could be going on about any old shite, but I'm here for it. The rise of the political right in Italy, the Catholic Church, the virtues of the countryside, food. Oh, he loves good food, made with love, with spirit, almost in a quaint or even pompous kind of a way. Oh, no, he'll never get a takeaway. Even when it's past 9 at night, he'll jump in the kitchen and labour over a homemade dinner. There I'll be, my stomach eating itself from hunger, and he'll be in the kitchen, reducing the broth over a low friggin' simmer. No, it's not that he's pompous, he likes to make things matter. Effort, care, warmth, those are all at the top of his priorities. He's a real family guy. I've never spent the night with Gio. It's just a thing I noticed. I've never fallen asleep with another body beside my body, or woken up with my hands on another person's stomach, like they do in TV. We just get the day. 12 hours. This one time, Gio took me to the student allotment. We packed up rice and seasoning and pots from his, and when we got there, we picked the ripe crop from the ground and off the vines. We cooked our dinner in this. I don't know what it was really. It was this hut-type building, like they used for scouts or something. And it's just us there. And there's this log fire. Oh, and it's really warm. Gio could have taken us anywhere to do anything, and out of everything, he has chosen to share with me a part of his world. And the crops that he has planted and tended with his own hands, which are big hands. He's kind of like a hobbit in that way. Sorry, I know I'm not explaining this well. When you... It does something to your eyes, you know? They swell up and take in all the light, and everything looks warm and drunk, and you're no longer looking at things but feelings. Looking back, things didn't look, they felt. Hope is the worst thing to happen to a person. There's nothing like hope to drop you from a height. The dad has just made his joke. Look out for this when you find a girlfriend. I laugh along, but on the inside I feel sick. I feel a sudden flash of heat go through my body and everything is stained red. I feel the cutlery slip in my hands as the sweat just... The mum sniffs. Is that weed? I try to catch Kayla's eye, but she's determined on looking at anyone but me. I end up catching Abby's eye. She's biting the tip of the knife, her tongue out a little, pressed up against it. It's perhaps a second too long before I look away. I've gotten with girls before, it's just what happens. You share those flirtatious looks and find yourself in the quiet spot at the party. I let them be the ones to lean in. It almost becomes a game, and not one I'm proud of. Stringing them along, saying the right things, letting them think what they want to think. It's all on them. I let them want me, and it makes me feel happy. Their bodies are warm, but their mouths are always cold. My body gives little response. I just stand there and go through the motions. I take a break, getting a fresh bottle from the fridge. I check Grindr. Chess guy wants to meet tonight. I tell him, we'll see. I remember this one time with Gia, when we were in bed together after sex. And like you do after you've come, and you just lie there exhausted and your mind wanders. You end up having these weirdly honest bits of conversation. Gio was telling me about his hometown, about how they used to have this annual street party where all the families would come out and share food and drink late into the night. Oh, he had a great time at high school and had prom out in this old castle in the country. He would go for coffee with his dad in the piazza, his double friggin' espressos. He made it sound so nostalgic. Like I can feel the sun and the way his mum kisses him on the forehead. And the way he talks about Mass and all the love he has for the church. And its warmth and the singing and all the amazing, brilliant people. He got me back into praying for a bit. I think I had a bit of a wobble and probably have a lot to atone for, but I don't know. Fingers crossed that he'll take me back. And then I start telling Gio about my home. About how much he would love the beaches and marshes looking over to Wales. And I tell him how much I would love it for him to visit my home. Yeah. We'll go to the beach and have ice cream or chips wrapped up in newspaper in the cold and the warmth, fighting off the seagulls. Suddenly I hear what I'm saying. I look at myself from the outside and I see what's happening. Us in bed, eye to eye. And it's beautifully cliched and a bit sickly, but I realise Later at the Adubas, and everyone's sharing food and drink, chatting. Everyone's partnered up, and it's me in silence with Abby. Because there's not much room on the sofa, we end up squished together, thigh to thigh. Abby looks sad. She's gazing off a little, a bit distant. I want to ask her about how imperfect her perfect life is. I want to know how crushing all that perfection is around her. I want to know if she likes singing. I want to know what she likes singing. I go to ask her, but then I feel this thing on my shoulder and I jump. It's just the mum. She's come from behind, asking if I want anything to drink. She stands there a moment, laughing, a very proper laugh. Look how him jump. Do you not show affection in your family? I take a break and flick through Grindr on the toilet. Chess guy's keen. He wants to know what I want to do with him. I don't reply. Deo drops something. Nobody sees what, but what they do see is Deo down on one knee at Kayla's feet. There's a sudden laugh from the mum. Oh, I thought, oh, bless. I thought he was about to propose. My face falls. Everyone tries to laugh it off. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? But Deo is still there at Kayla's feet, Kayla looking down at him, and they hold there a moment. The thought crosses their mind. Deo looks up at Kayla. Would you? Kayla looks dumbstruck, but then her eyes do that thing where they swell up and they take in all the light and everything goes drunk and blurry and you're no longer looking at things but feelings, and I start to get really scared now. It's just Kayla and Deo. Deo asks again, but properly this time. Will you marry me? I can see she doesn't want to, but Kayla looks at me and all I can think is, don't do it. Please don't do it. Kayla turns away from me, back to Deo, and says, yes, I will marry you. The mum gets her late mother's wedding ring, and a moment later the engagement is official. I take a break in the bathroom. I'm a bit torn because my eyes are red and I feel like shit, but in the moment my breakdown is, it's pretty hot. I check Grindr. Chess guy has sent me his location with a winky face. I want him to pin me down and suffocate me. I want his hands to crush my wrists and his teeth to tear into my neck. Through him I want God to come upon me with his wrath, pull me open from both ends, and for the remaining chunks of my body to be tossed into hell as they burn with pleasure. No one fucks harder than God. About a week before I broke up with Gio, I took the train to his. We made lunch and went on a walk, and I came clean to him in a cafe. I mean, I'm going to uni in September and I'll be halfway across the country, so... And I mean, it's not like we're even a proper... This is just a summer fling. And you don't want to be going out with a guy like me anyway, so I think it's best if we just... I mean, we're both tiptoeing around it anyway, so I mean, we might as well just... Gio didn't say anything, and then wanted to ask everything. And the more he asked, the more I closed up and pushed him away. Gio thought it's because I wanted to go to uni and take part in some sexual conveyor belts. I told him that wasn't true. I'm not that type of guy. And then he tells me, I know you've still got the apps. I know you take the train places no one knows where. No, I say, and I stick with this. I have not been with anyone else while we've been seeing each other. And I hate lying to him, but I don't want him to think that And I think I say this truthfully. I don't want to be with anyone but you. Then why won't you? Gio asks, and before I can stop myself, I blurt out, because I don't deserve it. The door opens. It's Abby. She apologises. She should have knocked the door a bit funny. Abby looks at me and she sees what I'm feeling. I want to know if she feels the same. You okay? She asks. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, she nods. Here, she says, and steps closer as she hands me a towel. As the towel passes between us, our hands touch. I notice her glance move from my chest to my eyes. Her lips are parted a little. She looks so perfect. So I kiss her. In panic, she pushes me against the basin and throws her drink over me. See, I fucked up again. I push past her past all the happy families out the front door and start up the car. I'm in first, ready to let go of the handbrake when I see Kayla in front of me. I can see what she wants me to do. She wants to stop me from going. She wants everything to be okay, just how we're used to. But I'm headed where I'm headed, and she's on her own road. I swerve past her, off into the night. 15 minutes later, and here I am.
Can I ask again, what is your type?
Anyone who's willing to have me.
I think you deserve better than that.
One happy ending though. Ahmed has a boyfriend now. I saw him the other day across the street. He was having lunch with his boyfriend and his parents. And he was holding his boyfriend's hand out on the table, out open on the table, and they just looked so happy. And everything was fine. I can't help but feel stupid because everything was fine and he looked so happy. I just completely misread him. It just felt like so long since God. I'll be fine. Maybe I just need a bit more faith. Are you married? You're wearing a wedding ring.
Yes, I am.
And does she know?
I've been married to my husband for 5 years now.
And does he know that you see other guys?
I have a job that I love here, and he's got a job that he loves in France. We text and call all the time, but I won't deny it's difficult and it can be lonely, but it's worth it for the next 4 years. Then I'll be retired and we can be together again.
But you're supposed to be in love, how can you?
I'm an adult. I know the difference between sex and love. It hurts, doesn't it? What do